Hey everybody, this is John from Shout. I'm just going to walk you through really quickly how to import your contacts from Square into Shout. So it may be your first time filling up your contacts here in Shout, your first import, or you may be bringing more contacts that you've had in from a different order workflow from Square, and you already have some in your account here in Shout. Either way, this is going to be the process that you'll follow to prepare the CSV to be ready for Shout. And so I've got my export from Square, and I'm going to show you how to do this in Google Sheets. I'm using Google Sheets because it's a free tool. Not everybody has Excel, but if you sign up for a Google account or a Gmail account, you have access to Google Sheets, and so we want to make sure that there's no kind of barrier to entry on this. So I'll show you this here. I'm in my browser window, and I'm going to click on my plus sign. I'm already logged into Google, and I'm just going to type sheets.new. And anytime you do this, this is going to create a new Google spreadsheet, which is a pretty cool little trick. You can go into sheets.google.com and create new, and hit new if you want to do that, but I like just doing sheets.new. It's a little bit faster, and it just generates a new open spreadsheet for you here. It's working and getting set up, and I'm going to get ready to import my CSV. So to do that, I'm going to go to the File menu. I'm going to click on Import, and then on the right, on this modal that comes up, I'm going to click on Upload. Select a file, or you can drag and drop. So I've got this other file here. My export is ready to go, and I just clicked Upload. It's going to ask you to choose some settings for your import. And so what I want to do here is just make sure it replaces my current spreadsheet. I don't have anything in my spreadsheet, so it's just going to it would wipe out all my tabs. That's fine. Separated type, it's going to detect automatically that it's a comma separated spreadsheet, and I'll leave the rest of these settings the same. So I'm going to click Import Data, and it's going to do a little bit of work. And then I am ready to go. So the columns that I'm trying to get set up for Shout, the Shout import is looking for three things. The first column is going to be customer name. The second column is going to be customer email. And the third column is going to be phone. So I need those three headers in my spreadsheet when it's ready to go. And I'm going to show you how to set this up. Depending on where your data has come from, it's probably not going to be as filled out as the data that you're seeing here. So you're going to be missing some email addresses, you're going to be missing some phone numbers. That's fine. The Shout import will take care of that and create records for anybody that has either an email or a phone number. If it doesn't have either, then the record won't be created. So I'm going to come in here, and I've got a couple of steps that I need to do to clean this up. Step one that we're going to go through together now is the name. The Shout name is a single field, and so I've mentioned in some other places that this needs to be one column, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. So the first column here is reference ID. Comes in from Square. I don't need that column in my Shout import, so I'm just going to rename the column and use it for something else. I'm going to call it customer name and hit enter. Okay. And now I'm going to use a function in this first column to combine these two together. So Abigail Southerden needs to be all in one column right here. And the function I'm going to use goes like this. I'm going to type equals concatenate, and you can just hit enter to let it accept that for you. And concatenate basically, Google Sheets will explain to you what it's doing, but concatenate is going to combine multiple different cells of information together. So I type concatenate, and I open parentheses, and then I'm just going to click on the first name here, B2, Abigail, and then I'm going to hit comma, and that's going to be the first thing that it adds together. Then I'm going to do quotes, open quotes, and one space, and close quotes, and that's going to be the space between her first name and last name, comma, Southerden. When I do that, I can just hit enter, and I get Abigail Southerden all in one thing right here. So that's great. But I don't want to have to type that 100 times. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click back on that formula that I just had, and here on the bottom right hand corner I've got this little blue square, and I'm going to grab it, click, and just drag straight down. And I'm going to go all the way way down through my people here. There are a couple different ways to do this, but I'm going to go all the way down. And when I let go, it's going to fill out that formula all the way down. So other ways to do that would be if you're at the top and I'll just show you this real quick because it's going to be a little easier if you do copy, Control C, and then on a Mac, I'm going to do Command, Shift, and the down arrow. We'll select every other cell in that column, and I'll hit Command V for paste. And Google Sheets adds a bunch of extra columns in here, but when you scroll back up, you'll see that that has filled out all of those different columns as well. So that's an easy way to do that. Okay, so I've got everybody's name in here, but you'll notice that these formulas are still in here, and that's fine until I delete these two columns, and then all of this data is going to get messed up. So what I need to do to make sure that Google Sheets keeps these names as the names they are when I start moving these other columns around is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on the column, and then I'm going to go copy and then paste special. So I can do that here in the edit menu. I'll just do copy or Control C, and then paste special, and in that same edit menu, I'm going to go paste values only, or Command Shift V would be the shortcut here. And what that's going to do is it's going to strip all of the formulas out of that and leave the data. So you can see up here that we've removed that concatenate formula, and we've left the names in here in a single column with spaces. So that way you don't have to do 100 of these and manually copy and paste all that stuff. That's insanely time consuming, and you don't want to have to do that. Okay, so I've got customer name column taken care of. I can come in here and select B and C. I'm going to do that by clicking and dragging across the letters B and C here at the top, and then right click, and then right click, and then I'm going to delete columns B and C. Customer name, ready to go. Okay, email address. I don't have to do anything here except rename this column. And this is going to be customer, caps lock, customer email. Okay, as soon as I've done that, that one's ready to go too. So I've got customer name, customer email, and phone number. And we just need to look at this real quick to see what's going on in here. So depending on how your data has come into Square, if you've added them directly into Square, or if they're coming out of another system into Square and now you're bringing them into Shout, what you're probably going to find is that you're going to have these plus and then the country codes. And when that comes into a CSV, when it exports out of Square, it actually adds this little apostrophe at the beginning of it. And so what we need to do is we need to strip out that apostrophe +1, and we're also going to remove the spaces just to make it nice and clean. So we're going to do that here by clicking on C, which selects the entire column. We're going to hit Find or Command F, and then we're going to go over here to More Options, which is the Find and Replace function in Google Sheets. In here, we're going to look for that apostrophe +1 first. We're going to take care of that first, and we're going to replace it with nothing. Because we've already selected the column, it already knows where it's searching, and we just need to tick Also Search Within Formulas to make sure it finds that. And then at the bottom, we can click Replace All, and that goes away. Replace 352 instances, so it cleaned that all up for me. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to remove what I had, that apostrophe plus, and I'm just going to do Find and then one space and replace it with nothing. And this is just going to take out the rest of the spaces in here. And I'm going to not change any of my other settings, click Replace All, and then boom, all that's cleaned up. I can click Done, and I'm looking at these phone numbers. All of these look like good, nice 10-digit phone numbers to me now. Okay. At the top, I need to change the column heading here. Shout is expecting this to be phone, so I'm going to clean that up there. And then what I need to do is just clear out the rest of this information. So I'm going to click on D, which is nickname that comes out of Square. I'm going to scroll all the way over, hold down the Shift key, and click on the last column, which in this case is Instant Profile. That selects all of this information, and then I just hit Delete. Cleans it out real nice. So now I've got a spreadsheet that is customer name, customer email, phone number. It's all been cleaned up nicely. It's all in the right number of columns. I'm going to name it Shout Import, and then I'm going to go to File, Download as a comma separated values or a CSV sheet. And it exports this current sheet. It puts it in my downloads folder, and then I'm ready to go over into Shout and bring that in. So I'll click on Shout. And now this import is pretty straightforward. I'll go to Contacts, and then under Contacts you see that I don't have anything in here right now, just about Shout, our support channel, and I'm going to click Upload CSV. The instructions here are designed to help you understand how to format your own CSV. If it helps you, you can download the CSV template and fill it out that way, but you don't have to use the template if you follow the instructions that I've just given you. This is really the most important thing. You need the right 3 columns: customer name, customer email, and phone. They have to be in order, and they have to match exactly. Okay, so now I'm ready to choose my file. I'm going to choose File and then select that file that I have. Shout Import is what I downloaded. I'm going to hit Open. And at this point, you can add context to a group or to a channel. So if you've exported a certain specific group out of Square or out of another system, then you're ready to upload them here. You're going to want to choose these. I exported all of my customers out of Square, and so I don't have a specific group that I want them in right now, but I do want them in the customers channel. So when I start having conversations with these people, they're going to show up, their conversations are going to show up in that correct channel. And you can learn more about channels in our Help Center and in some other videos. But now I'm ready to go. So I've got my channel chosen, I've got my CSV ready to go. I hit Upload, and I'm just going to wait patiently. I'm going to get a little window here in a second that will show me the progress of my upload. Okay, so my upload is coming in. It's importing my profiles. And depending on how many profiles you have and how big your import is, this can take a few seconds. Okay, you can click on View Result Details if you want more information about how that went, if you are not seeing people who you expected to see in here. If, like me, you had a CSV that had a bunch of empty rows at the bottom, you'll see that there were certain contacts that weren't added. Shout's basically just telling you that there were a bunch of empty rows in that thing, and that's not something to worry about. What you really want to make sure is that all of your contacts are in here, that when you click on them and you see their profile window, I'm going to go ahead and close that out, that you can see their name, that their phone number is correct, and there's their email address as well. So email address doesn't show up in this main contact view, but you can see it if you click on the customer profile. And that's it. So now I have exported, cleaned, and imported a CSV from Square. And I think the last thing I want to tell you all about this is that navigating Google Sheets, sometimes it looks easy. You get in there and you see stuff that you're not expecting to see, or it's not behaving the way you expect it to behave. That has happened to me many times. If you are having issues with CSV import, then just go ahead and reach out to About Shout. This is something that we are perfectly happy to do. If you don't see About Shout, our support channel, in your account, you can just add us, new contact, and this is our Shout to Shout name, Shout Support. Send us a message and let us know what you're working on, and ask for help. We get on the phone regularly and we clean up CSVs for our users, and we help get them imported and get them set up. This can be a hurdle for some people, but really it shouldn't be a stumbling block once you have the tools that you need to get started. And that's really what we want to do, is help you build your business using Shout. So thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any questions.